Right, we are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to the Kiwi Lads channel. We are back for another match of international rugby. This one, the Springboks in action for their first of 5 November internationals. They are going head-to-head with the Brave Blossoms, a side that got close up against the Australians just last week and now are trying to prove that they can yet again cause that massive upset. Looking through at the starting sides, they are going to be as follows for South Africa. Oxenshire, Malcolm Marks, and the youngster on debut, Zachary Porthen, gets that chance as the number 3. He's a talented player from the under-20s. He's also got the opportunity for the Stormers this season in the URC, but a lot of intrigue about how that man is going to get on. Arges Neyman alongside Lutiacha as that locking duo. So many line-out steal opportunities in this game for the South Africans. Sio Kolisi is slotting in as the 6. Franco Mostert at number 7. So this is the first time Mostert's been the 7 for quite some time. And then Jasper Vesa, he is the number 8 option. And this contest, Kobus Reinach and Sasha Feinberg Ngume Zulu will once again be that 9 and 10 combo. They did get themselves plenty of opportunities off the bench initially and then earn their starting spot after having a real impact off of that reserves bench. Damien Dialendi in the midfield alongside Jesse Creel. So going back to that experienced duo. And then Kurtley Arendse, his first game of international rugby in quite some time since his injury. Ethan Hooker, he was slotted in as the 14 with Cheslin Colby shifting to 15. Few injury concerns at the moment for the Springboks. Damian Willemse, a bit of a tough hamstring at the moment. Apelele Fasi, he is out with the ankle injury. And then no Vili LaRue. And at the Springbok side, looking through at the Japanese starting lineup, it is Kobayashi in the front row alongside Saito, who comes in for Hayate Ira, who did play in that last game up against the Wallabies, and Takeuchi. He is one of the standouts for Japan throughout the last year or so. He will be another one keep the close eye on, and he is going head-to-head with Oxenshire in this game, so that should be thoroughly entertaining when they do go head-to-head. Jack Cornelsen and Warner Dearns will be the locking duo. A tough day at the office up against Neyman and Diacha, but they were pretty competitive in the last match up against the Australians, so we'll be hoping to do the exact same here. Ben Gunther as that number 6. Shimokawa slots in at 7, and Michael Leach, the veteran, is once again there as that number 8. Fujiwara and Seunson Lee in the 9-10 combination. Lawrence and Dylan Riley make up the midfield with Osada, Ishida, and also Yazaki as that number 15 option. But there is another game going on at the moment, ladies and gentlemen. It is England versus Australia at the moment. It is 10 points to 7 at halftime in the contest. The breakaway try from Harry Potter and also the try from Ben Earl. We will be given updates throughout the second half of that one. What channel are you watching on? So for me here in New Zealand, the option for being able to watch for this game, 1 second, we'll refresh. It is Sky Sport 2 as the option for this contest, 60 plus to 20. Says Jimbo, 12 minutes till kickoff. Yeah, we are actually very close to the start of this match, which is absolutely awesome. Normally, we would have an hour build-up for the matches involving the Springboks, but because of the hectic schedule, it does mean that, and the overlap as well, I should mention, it means that we did have to do a little bit of a shortened start for this game as well. Nobody thinking Japan can cause the upset, says Ruth. And why do they put these games on such difficult-to-watch channels? Says Paul Hustler's KO there. Well, that's the thing. Like, 2 massive games are taking place at the same time. South Africa, Japan, as well as England versus Australia. Yet we can only, like, I just feel like they didn't do the scheduling right. And I feel like it was pretty early on that the schedule was done, that they could have got away with making a couple adjustments. It's also TNT Sports if you're in Europe. And doesn't look like anyone pitched up for the game at the stadium. Says Francois, yeah, this game taking place at Wembley Stadium, fun fact. And yeah, it's a location we don't normally see a huge amount of rugby from. Definitely not international games. It is, like I mentioned, overlapping. Twickenham looks sold out, or at least pretty close to it, for that game up against the Australians. Scott Berger said box by 35. See, I went 43-15, so that's by 28, I believe. Was my score prediction. And Japan 27, the box 20, says John there. AB's 40-10 today, says Fortnite. Yeah, that is the game taking place later on tonight. We are also going to be covering it on the channel. The South African in me says, please, man, these Japanese are not little toy Smurfs. It's not real rugby like England, Australia. Says Power Bite there. And 14-4, Australia's way in the rugby league, so they are starting to run away with it that little bit more. But looking through at the bench, I do want your guys' opinion on this bench from the South Africans, because what do you call it? Is it a 6-2? Is it a 5-3? Is it a 4-4? What would you say? In this case, I'm working towards a 6-2, but Andre Estes and the fact that he is playing as a part of the forward pack in this matchup, or more than likely anyway. Now, of course, they can still bring him on as a back. There's no problems whatsoever there, but also some great options in terms of the backs. Grant Williams, he had a great game for the Sharks. Most recently in the URC, Mani Libok, he's had some of his best Springbok form in just recent times. Also, Johan Robela, Stennekamp, and Lowe will be the front rowers. Ruan Noki is there too. And Mr. Impact, Kwaka Smith, as the 21 for the Japanese. They have got some decent options. Sam Green and their number 22 jersey, Tamefusa. I feel like there's a lot of pressure on these front rowers. Hirao in particular, he wasn't there last week for the game. Harata Ira, like I said, is injured, so it means that they did have to make that switch, and that is where I would say in this game in particular, if South Africa can get dominance at the scrum, it's going to be a tough day at the office for the Brave Blossoms. But if they can be competitive and at least try and stop those consistent advantages that many sides haven't been able to do so far up against the Boks, would bode much better for them in the game. But looking through at recent form, these are the most recent games for South Africa. In fact, they're all of the games throughout this year. In the July internationals, they were able to beat the Barbarians, beat Italy in both of those contests, relatively comfortable in those games, and then 55 points to 10. The win over the Georgians. Moving on to the Rugby Championship, and this is where we did see South Africa get themselves the title. They lost that first game up against the Australians after being 22-0 up. From there, beating them by 8 in the next round. Lost to New Zealand at Eden Park to then beat them by a record margin on New Zealand soil. Big win over the Argentinians. And then also the narrow victory at Twickenham for the last round. In terms of, this is quite empty at Wembley Stadium. I'd like to know what the capacity is of the stadium as well as what the attendance is. It's actually, I thought it would be full. Or not full, but 60,000 for a game between the Springboks and Japan. I would have definitely considered it as a pretty big one. Maybe it is because of the fact that it could be one-sided, but I'd still, you'd still go for the atmosphere, wouldn't you? Looking through at Japan's games throughout this season, they were able to get themselves one win and one loss up against the Welsh. The Welsh probably still send them thank you letters because that broke the massive record-breaking streak of the Welsh when it came to losing. They were able to beat Canada and the USA in the Pacific Nations Cup, winning in the semi-final up against Tonga to then be defeated in the final up against the Fijians, 33 points to 27, 19 points to 15. That game last week up against Australia, that was honestly very close for the Japanese. There were multiple times throughout that match that they all but managed to get themselves the win. Just seen there are 43 more messages. I am going to struggle to read all of these, I can tell you that right now, but we will try our absolute best. Go the Bok, says Faye Crafts. We also got their 30 Bok, 18 to Japan, says Johan. So going relatively close in that regard. It's whatever they need it to be bench, says Lilia. A lot of versatility on offer there. I hope all are well. Who won the England-Australia game? Currently, it's at halftime or just about to get back underway in that matchup. 10 points to 7 in favour of England currently. Try for Ben Earl for the English. Try for Harry Potter off an intercept for Australia. Actually, only 2 missed tackles throughout that first half from England as well. They're defending very well. Thank you for allowing me to give you updates on your channel, Hamish. You're an amazing human. Says Harley. And it does seem like that game's going similar to how it did last time in the league, how we're starting to see Australia run away with it. Which channel was the game on? I'm not too sure of the DSTV one, but here in New Zealand, it is on Sky Sport 2. As these two sides make their way out of the tunnel, they are ready to go for yet again another match of international rugby. You could argue that in this scenario, because of the fact that they played just last week, Japan will be the slightly more gelled side. But at the same time, I do think they've made quite a few changes in terms of the injuries and also off the bench, so maybe not so easy to be able to adapt. And come on the box, says Haino. And when do they start, says Frio Friends. They are not too far away, so what we are going to do is we're going to change our background. Ladies and gents, we'll get all set up and ready to go for this game. We are just about to have the national anthems for these two sides, and then we are underway for this very exciting matchup. Let's go the box, says Shanti there. And go the box, love you, says Asa there. And how's it from Joburg, Hamish, says Brent. Welcome in, hope you're doing well. What we'll do is we'll go like this and we'll go like that. There we go. We got the lineups on the screen for you guys to be able to see exactly who is playing. You'll be able to note in terms of the numbers that we say if we just randomly blurt out a name. As you can see, Sasha making it difficult because it goes down to the second line. It's a 5.5, 2.5 split, Hamish. Says Yanko there. See, I'd almost call it a 5.75. Or, no, actually 5.25 because Quacker Smith theoretically can also play in the background. Or, sorry, in the back line. Very colourful background. Is it too colourful or is it all right? Hopefully you guys don't mind. The lineup's up there as well. Good afternoon, Hamish. Looking forward to another game of rugby. What do you think about the 4-4 split? It's an intriguing one, although I guess it's once we see where those players come onto the field and who they replace, that will tell us what kind of split it is. For all we know, it could literally be a 6-2. It could be a 5-3. If Andre Estesen comes on as a centre, that could be down to injury if something happened to Damien Dialendi or Jesse Krill. Box need to stay structured or things might get difficult. Says Roloff there. And perfect, says Mohadeen there. And beautiful day for footy. It is raining at the moment at Wembley Stadium. I did see a few raindrops before. Second half of England versus Australia is just getting back underway as well, ladies and gents. In the near future, we will be letting you know the score in that game as well. South Africa all the way, says Trio Friends, and great commentary, says Ernest. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated. Do, of course, let me know your score predictions for this game, ladies and gentlemen. Who do you think will be winning this match? And how much by in this scenario? Send the rain to Twickenham. The rain is actually already there. There's been plenty of it around. We have got Philip donating there. Thank you very much, mate. Greatly appreciated for your generosity there. But the South African national anthem just now being sung by the Box. Easy win for the Springboks, says Martin. And also Springboks will win, says Cobus, 68-18 in favour of the Box. Shot Philip, says Naz Williams there. And Kiwi or Tonga today. It's a tricky one because I feel like Tonga are going to bounce back like we saw from Samoa, but New Zealand looked pretty strong in the game up against Samoa, so I'll say New Zealand, but we are going to be covering that one on the channel too. How are you doing? It's been a long time without seeing you, says Tino Tender. Well, it is absolutely awesome to have you back for this game in the pouring rain. The national anthem's being sung currently. Cobus has said, say my name. And we have got there, bro. South Africa is winning, says Karen. And there too, let's go the Box. Springboks 62-17. Over the Japanese. Big Dude has gone with the 65 prediction there too. The crowd. You can hear a little bit of the South African contingency in the stands for this game. Definitely not a sold-out stadium like the South Africans are used to playing in for their rugby, but they will still make sure they go out there and have a really good showing early on, some physicality up front. And like I mentioned, it's that scrum. That's going to be the difference maker in this contest. If they can defend it in this match, Japan, they have half a chance of staying close. But if they end up conceding early, it's going to hurt them badly. And if that scrum just keeps on going, it's going to make it even more challenging throughout the fixture. But we are ready to go for this contest, ladies and gentlemen. The match is just about to start. Such stupid timing, says Tanner. Yeah, it does overlap with Australia versus England, which seems really strange that they didn't really plan that out. You got a massive South African crowd, man. I've been here when you were around 20,000 subs, says Naz Williams. It's been absolutely incredible, the amount of support that we get on the channel, no matter who is playing around the world. You guys always popping in and saying hi. So, yeah, it is always awesome to see. But Chesil and Colby, the test for him in the number 15 jersey in this matchup. Arage likes sushi, says a Big Dude there. And 1 million and 0 box win, says Karen. I stayed on the England-Aussie game. And yeah, just getting underway for that second half. I will keep you guys updated in there. If you want to put those notable moments, though, Thuds Race, absolutely go for it too. As we're doing a little bit of a split screen, and I've only got the game very small, so it's very hard to see the numbers. What a ridiculous attendance. It looks, I'll be honest, I did not expect this. But then at the same time, if you're going to have a game taking place at a stadium that isn't Twickenham at the same time as a game's taking place at Twickenham when England are playing, this is the attendance that they probably should have expected. I don't know. Oh, I didn't know I had an invisibility cloak. Now I do. Thanks, Hamish. Says Night Owl Laser in there. Obviously, you put a message somewhere, I assume. I did end up missing it, so my apologies there. I think Cheslin could be the best fullback ever. Says Dean. Well, he's solid under the high ball. Cheslin Colby. He's got all the skills and all the fundamentals in the world to be fullback cover well and truly for the Springboks. But we are now ready to go for this contest. It's going to be a good one, that is for sure. Japan playing in the pouring rain. Something that we did see last week up against the Australians as well. So it is no different in this scenario. And it is going to be Owen Cross in charge of this one. Oh. Okay, for the first time, a Tier 1 match for this referee in charge. Well, we're ready to go. Sasha Feinberg Zulu, he will be kicking this one off from left to right. And we are underway for this game at Wembley Stadium. Not football like normal, but instead the Boks are in town up against the Brave Blossoms. Nicely taken by Michael Leach inside of his 22. Fujiwara going across to Sionson. In fact, no, sorry, that is Takeuchi. One of the absolute keys for the Japanese throughout this contest. Now, what channel, Hamish? It is on Sky Sport 2 here in New Zealand. Sionson Lee now kicking downfield. Sells the little dummy, but does just about get it into touch. Cheslin Colby taking it quickly. Goes to Sasha Feinberg Zulu. Tackle low by Michael Leach and Jack Cornelison, but there is an advantage in play for the Boks. Argus Neymar goes to Cheslin Colby. Almost a first receiver role there for him. So he kicks the ball into touch, and they'll go back for the initial penalty. First one of the contest going the way of the Springboks. And Japan at Tier 1 now. Says a big rig with a question mark. I'm not actually sure where they class themselves at the moment. Shah says, Trio friend, sadly that would be illegal. Any licensing, any match footage or audio that gets played would get us taken straight off of YouTube. We are going to be doing the play-by-play, not just for this game, but also the match around the corner between Ireland as well as the All Blacks. So that one was a little bit too high from Michael Leach. We have got there, welcome back to my house, Hamish. And hoping for a big box win, although everyone thinks Hamish says a rear there, but it is going to be the line-out chance for South Africa once they do bump this ball into touch. It's nicely done. It goes into touch for the Boks. This is where the rolling maul starts going in. Some major funny handshakes involved in arranging this game. Says Power Bite. And go Japan, says Naz Williams. The last time that these two sides played, it was actually in the 2019 Rugby World Cup. Time before that, I believe, was actually the upset. Anytime someone asks you to show footage, just flash up that cricket jump scare. Says Big Rig, nicely taken by was Ludiacha. He's got a new haircut at the moment. Diacha looking more and more like Argus Neyman every day. Now 5 metres out for the South Africans. There's going to be another advantage in place so they can just keep on working this one. This side, another pick and go. Where are they playing? They are playing at Wembley Stadium for this contest. Low tackle made by Warner Derns. Malcolm Marks looking to shovel it on to Damien Dialende. He was thoroughly excited at getting to play up against this Japanese side. Many of his teammates in the Japanese top league. Now, Kobus Reinakemai and Sasha, a little shovel on from Colby. It's forward and it goes into touch, but still under that penalty advantage. So it does mean that they can go back again. Where are they playing? I want the footage. Oh, you're talking about where are they playing as in like location. Sky Sport, DSTV, Stan Sport. A few different options around the world depending on what country you're in. And 54-17 for the Springboks. Now, once again, Sasha Feinberg Zulu will be kicking this one into touch. In fact, they want, what's going on here? They want a different ball, do they? Oh no, line out chance. Malcolm Mark's going to dry that one off nicely. How's it? Hamish Screenings again from Namibia. Appreciate your commentary. Says Bruno, thank you very much. Greatly appreciated. You've been here for this match. Now thrown in. Taken again by Ludiacha. Actually looks a lot like Ruben van Jaren too. Rolling maul and over here. And it's the try scored. It's not Malcolm Marks who pops up with it. It is the captain, Sio Kolisi, who does manage to score. What we will quickly do is I'm actually going to rearrange a little bit because I do want to have the try scorers down the bottom of the screen and the Springboks scoring early in this contest. It is the captain, Sio Kolisi, who manages to get it. We'll get that one updated, but it's just off the solid rolling maul. Always going to be a danger for the Springbok side. Such a physical team. Go like that. We'll go like that. There we go. And we will also, while we're at it, we might as well go here. And we'll go like that as well. There we go. We'll go to that background just for now. But Sasha Feinberg Zulu able to line this one up. Early try scorer of Sio Kolisi in this game. And that one has gone over from Sasha. That makes the score 7-0. Go the Bok, watching from Peace. Says Sam. Let's see the game, bro. We want to see the game. Game is available on DSTV, Sky Sports, Dan Sport. Whole heap of options around the world to be able to watch this one. I would have preferred finishing off the competitive game between England and Australia as opposed to this, which is going to be a one-sided slaughter, says Akaris. And currently that game between England and Australia is still sitting 10 points to 7 between the two sides. Japan retaining their kickoff. Now, Seun Lee, an attack and run forward from the fullback. Yazaki, pick and go from Gunta. Just didn't have a man to offload to. Fujiwara, skip pass from the Japanese. Nice little spin attempted by Kenji Sato to make his way over the bench. That's down off his feet for Malcolm Marks. Referee just lets him do it in the Springboks. Managed to steal that ball back. Jesse Creel goes to Cheslin Colby. Sasha Feinberg. Ngume Zulu. That's close to the sideline. Very good kick from Sasha. Ball shoveled back in with Yazaki. Oh, almost charged down. And a very good clearing kick from the Japanese. Cheslin Colby this time deciding against going quickly. Not going to lie, I'll probably be disappointed. South Africa not getting 60 for me, though. Come on. Says the AI. And Go Bok watching from Cape Town, says Tino Tender. And currently just that one try has been scored. That one by the captain, Sioko Lisi. Japan, though, having a decent attacking chance there. Managing to work it away quite nicely and Go the Bok. And there as well. Currently dealing with those very wet conditions. Will you, moaning Mani's quiet, get the necessary to watch what you prefer? As in like Mani Lebok, he's off the bench in this game. Now Sasha's going to be putting this ball high. Chasing after it will be Ethan Hooker, the youngster. And that one's knocked back by Michael Leach. Japan trying to scramble to get this ball back. Seun Lee fires the pass across. It's knocked on by Yazaki, but they will go back for the initial penalty. The BBC scoreboard says Japan is winning ahead of the box. That's a bold scoreboard to have. I would say 101. Able to give our boys that challenge, says the underdog. I want to be 67 again, says Young Stunner. And also Japan says Ali Wood. Yeah, any early chances that they do get here, Japan, they have to take them. They won't be given a massive amount of chance all throughout this game. So when it's there, you know, the first scrum, this is going to be, and it isn't a scrum feed for the Boks. Instead, they are going to be defending the scrum. So first, Springbok scrum for Zachary Porthen to get his Springbok career underway. I mentioned they're just in the under-20 setup not too long ago as well. Izaki looks so much like a human son, says Francois. We'll be here for the All Blacks game. We certainly will be. We've got a nice big build-up for that game as well of around 45 minutes. Seun Lee kicking downfield. Taken there. Ethan Hooker charging back forward 40 metres out from his line. Has a collision with Charlie Lawrence. Manages to make the solid tackle. Kobus Reinhardt goes back to Sasha Feinberg. Ngume Zulu. That one's gone up and sideways. Waiting for it was Michael Leach. He's clobbered by Franco Mostert. Japan going to get a couple phases in a row here. Fujiwara siding against going for that box. Oh no, now he's going to go for the box kick instead. Anyway, I can watch the stream. Stuck in India. Maybe on... I know NZR Plus have some of the internationals, but that may only be the All Blacks games. Unfortunately, how was that first scrum? Pretty even overall. Like, no one really got that full dominance in it. But it's normally a different story when the Springboks have the hook rather than when they are defending. But Kobus Reinhardt kicking it high again. Michael Leach trying to go up for it, but it's taken by Ethan Hooker. Oh, came off the foot. So it is going to be play on. Seun Lee. Waiting for this one, just on the outside, but Michael Leach can't quite get it to him. Trying to get that steal in the breakdown for South Africa. Can't quite do it. Fujiwara goes across to Lee this time. Another little shuffle step. Brave Blossoms, loose ball. Picked up by Kutli Arunsa. Now Sioko Lisi, there's another mistake there. It's going to be the penalty going the way of Japan, who scored the try. It was Sioko Lisi. Managed to get himself that try on that one. At the moment, he is the lone try scorer in the contest. Currently still 10 points to 7 in that game between England and Australia. And CS scored, says Martin there. I'm getting ready to boot this ball into touch for Seun Lee. Normally gets a decent amount of distance on it. Just needs to try and create that angle and has done just that. Putting the ball into touch. Michael Leach, he's done some decent stuff under the high ball already in this game and then got absolutely smashed by Franco Mostert once he landed. Not exactly a friendly landing for the veteran. Thrown in now to the back, stolen by Argus Neyman. Loose ball, Khaleesi manages to clean it up, moves up to the 22. It is taken back by South Africa. The ref said inside, actually. I think he was just getting confirmation there, Kobus Reinach. Do you honestly think the All Blacks are going to win? Says Mumbo Jumbo Kiwi. I went the All Blacks by 5. They've got the benefit of at least playing recently in the Rugby Championship compared to Ireland, whose last game was in July. Although they did have a warm-up game, didn't they, not too long ago. First the box will make them soft, then the points will come. Says Edward. Yeah, Japan were pretty competitive up against Aussie in the early stages. Loose ball. Oh, Cheslin Colby taken out by Jesse Creel in the collision. But the ball's still on the side of the box. 10.5 minutes through this contest. Feel like we're not too far away from another breakaway chance for South Africa. Told to use it again. Reinhardt goes back into the pocket to Sasha Feinberg. Ngume Zulu again being chased by Kurt Liarense. Lining it up. Little bit of a slip there as well for Osada. Still manages to keep it on the side. A big collision for Kenji Sato. That might be the ball for the box. Yes, it is. Right, in the normal scenario, I would say they would take a 3 in this case, but they will be going more than likely aggressive here towards the corner and just keep those points ticking over. Hamish Island hasn't played since June when they won in 2016, says Jimbo. And what do you think the All Blacks going to win? Says Eugenio. I went 28-23 was my prediction, which could be wrong. Well, it will be wrong. I never get predictions right. This game I went 43-15 in favour of the box. And that will probably be wrong too. Sasha kicking it into touch. May all the Southern Hemisphere teams dominate the Autumn Series, says Steed. This one's going to be about 15 metres out. He has kicked it into the area where there is the crowd at Wembley Stadium. They were very happy to get a ball booted towards their faces. Another chance here at the rolling maul though for the South Africans. Once again, not going to be easy to be able to stop once this one starts flowing. They've said that they don't normally play in England, although South Africa actually have a pretty good English record at the moment. That's going to be knocked on by Aspavisa. Gives the ball straight back into the hands of Japan. And where are they playing? They are playing at Wembley Stadium. Is the stadium full? Not even close. I would say maybe 20% full if they're lucky. Have showed up for this game. Oh, that's a big collision. Sasha picks the ball up, but they'll go back, I think. Or will they? No, it is going to be the try for Sasha Feinberg, Ngume Zulu. I thought the way that the referee blew his whistle, it sounded very soft, as if they were going to go and say there was a knock-on somewhere, but Ngume Zulu manages to score it. I think that's just because he wants me to try and spell his name. There we go. Sasha getting it in the 12th minute of the contest. Just going for the chip in behind himself. And then waiting for this one to come down, chased after it is whether or not maybe he got a hand on that initially. When it does come down, going to see the replay now. I think he may have knocked that on for Sasha. If they look at that one again, I think there was at least one hand in there. But it looks like they're going to say for now, try stands. And just say Sasha FM, says Mark Smith. And now this one has gone over. And that is going to make the score now sitting 14 points to 0 after the first 13 minutes. You don't have a Scotland-USA game at all? Sadly not. But it does overlap with a couple other matches. We'll try and give updates. Currently in the other game that is taking place at the moment, England versus Australia, it is sitting 10 points to 7. So still that same score as it was for half-time. Hey, Sasha, you beauty, and tell me the minutes and seconds you're at. I'm listening to a Russian feed. So currently I'm at 13 minutes, 55 seconds. Kicked high and nicely taken. Side of the 22 by the box. Almost a breakaway for Aspavisa. It's RGFM, my favourite station. Says Marius. Loose ball. Oh, nicely passed out wide though for the Japanese. It could have been risky with the wide cutout pass. Jensen Lee getting tackled low by Ludiache. Michael Leach also having to make that tackle. Another penalty awarded. That is going to be Malcolm Marks getting into the breakdown a point a minute. Says can't believe everything. And it's probably the way that it is going to stay throughout this contest. I feel like they can score fast enough. They've found the gaps. And we have got there, let's go Springboks, says Disney. For a little bit, I have heard from Hamish's commentating so far, it is clear that the box back is going to be too strong for Japan. Here's Casper. And England just brought on 4 subs at once because they can't get anything going, says Big Rig. Yeah, it does seem like a pretty slow start to the second half, isn't it? For both of the teams. And stadium not full, not even close. I think they'd actually be pretty disappointed with the attendance here. Because the thing is, if they had played this game at Twickenham Stadium before England versus Australia, they probably still, I guess it's a different stadium, isn't it? But it's because England are playing at the same time. It just makes no sense to play in a nation where that nation are playing already at the same point. Like, if they had done it a couple of hours later, I think they would have got more attendance for this game too. But Reinach going across to Damien Dialende, low tackle on him by Seonson Lee. Have to be tackling machines in this game, Japan. Little kick in behind from Sasha, and it has backfired for Japan again. Was Yoshitaka Yazaki. Just did not quite get it right. Update in the league at full time, 14 points to 4, so they have won that series. And that right, is Wembley empty, or is it red of Japan? It is actually empty. Or not empty, it's like 25%, 20% full. I would say there's a whole big section of the stadium that they didn't even try and sell by the looks of it. England, Australia is 50-50, lots of penalties and turnovers, says Jimbo there. 94 metres made versus Australia last week for Yoshitaka Yazaki in that 15 jersey for the Japanese. They've got a lot of great back 3 players coming up through the rankings at the moment. I feel like they will continue to develop some great players in the near future. Future greetings from Chicago, says Yvonne, welcome in. And greetings from Ireland, 14-0 already. I can see the cricket score here, says Vlad. And England versus Australia score still 10 points to 7. Now scrum penalty advantage for the Springboks. They are sitting 22 metres out from the line. Reinach goes across to Franco Mostert. Now Reinach again. The hands of Malcolm Marks. Does get to slide forward on his belly because of the slipperiness there. Reinach tries to pick and go. That was a tackle off the... Oh no! Tackle off the ball on Oxenshire. His knee, I think, maybe gave way. There were questions as to why Ox was even playing in this game. He's played pretty much all of the rugby championship and he is yet to get back up to his feet. If they lose him from this game in a match that they really didn't need to use him, here comes Sasha straight through the gap. He'll score his second try. Sasha Feinberg Zulu gets another one in the 17th minute. But the big concern is not the tries. It is Oxenshire. Is he going to be able to continue in this game? It looked like he just got tackled off the ball in an awkward position. I think that's the 4th. And 3, are they turned down? And Obox is okay. I think the whole of South Africa at the moment is hoping Oxenshire is all right. Because if he is down, like he wasn't even trying to get back up. That's the big concern. And that explains all the YouTube ads I had here in London promoting the game. So it must have been slow, says Dave. And yeah, Ox has not tried to get up throughout that whole time that Sasha went on to score the try. And he's kind of just in the on all fours position here. Oxenshire. Should not have been on the field in the first place for Ox. I agree. I feel like this game he had nothing to prove. They had other options. They had Gerhard Stennekamp. They had, missing that kick for Sasha. Yeah, they had Stennekamp. They had Thomas de Toy, who could slot in as a loose head. They had, who else have they got? They have at least another 1 or 2 options that I can't even think of off the top of my head, which is really bad from myself. Why can I not think of the other loose head prop? With the whole Vessels things, we can't lose Ox. Says Sakabula, absolutely. But Sasha breaking the line and scoring. Sasha is a problem, says WLK. Sasha is on fire. But yeah, at the moment, he is not afraid to run it through the gap. So we went down. And also we have got there, did the kick go over? He missed the way to the left-hand side. But we have still got a bit more of a stoppage. Ox is back up on his feet. Right. It doesn't look like he shouldn't continue anyway. Even if he's walking on it. Nah, he is going to be walking off this field, Oxenshire, and we will wait with bated breath. Weighted breath. What's that saying? We'll wait with anticipation. We'll go with instead Gerhard Stennekamp. Bayern Fenter. That's the other fella, isn't it? Hardly getting any minutes for the Boks, unfortunately, Bayern. But going back underway, Japan managing to retain their kickoff for a second time in this match. Take them off, let them recover. Yeah, absolutely. You don't take the risk in this scenario for someone like an Oxenshire. Ox can be replaced. They deep. I mean, he can be replaced, but you also got to look at everything that he's been able to do with bated breath. What does that mean? Now it kicked him behind. That looked like Japan possibly getting themselves offside, but it will go into touch. 22 metres out. Nicely taken again. And thanks, Yako. And how is Zach doing? He's had one scrum advantage that he's won so far. Yeah, unfortunately, Oxenshire just ended up in that collision. I initially thought he was tackled off the ball, but it was actually the case of just pretty much making that tackle and sliding round, and Ox's leg just got stuck in there. A bated breath means you eat sardines. There you go. Malcolm Marks slapping it back for Kobus Reinach, going to, Sia Khaleesi. I swear that almost looked like a Shedder went through Sia Khaleesi's legs, but that's going to be another penalty. And we have good there. Will this take us to the island match? Not, the live stream will, but we'll have about I think it's a 45-minute break in between those two streams. We've got a 45-minute build-up as well for New Zealand versus Ireland. And South African says Gurra there. Yeah, Ox at the moment, he is getting all that strapping taken off his knee. And who's on for Ox? It is Gerhard Stennekamp, who has made his way on. We're going to see... No, you could argue that was off the ball. Warner Derns was ready to make the tackle, but the initial tackle was made by Kobayashi, who went low. And there. And USA Scotland is next. Says I am nutty. Currently, Australia versus England. It is sitting 15 points to 7 in favour of the English, who have just scored. Kobus Reinach. Back across to the right. They have just mentioned about already 5 penalties against the Japanese in this game. It is Henry Pollock who has been able to score it. Although they're getting the TMO involved by the sound of it, sounding as the Barbarians score. That is true. Although in that Barbarians game, New Zealand 15 came back to win it. Cross kick attempted, and it goes into touch. Big collision between Mostert and a Shedder. That is certainly not a game in the same weight class for those two out wide, and it is actually going to be a South African line out here. Someone wrote 100 points to South Africa, 7 to Japan. And definitely off the ball, says Reno. Now 22 minutes in, Malcolm Marks. From my Australian friend, will be fine. Australia is the only country who cares about league. Says Herman, and Mostert just wants to tackle. Yeah, he wants to get out there, get some physicality going early in this matchup, which is fair enough. At the end of the day, these are his first minutes, and this is... I know it's up against the Japanese, but this is pretty much his proving ground of trying to show why he should be in the running, whether that's, it's not going to be in the starting lineup because of a man called Peter Steph-Toy, but it could be the chance off the bench. Reinach back to Sashu. Will go once again with the high box, up and under type of kick. Japan running onto it, and it's a very nice take from Yoshitaka Yasada. Or Yazaki, in fact it is. England 15-7, conversion missed. Holding your breath or reduced breathing, bated breath. Says Henk down, Bok 5, Springboks for the win, says Angelica. Or is it Angelica? I think it's Angelica, isn't it? Now Sasha kicking it high. About 40 metres out, going up for his own ball. He has knocked that one on. And Brave Blossoms now in the possession. They haven't had a lot of chance outside of their own half throughout this match. Need some big metres to be made. Big tackle from Zachary Porthen. Now back into the pocket. Sion-Sin Lee will go high with it again. Chasing after it is Tomoki Osada. Taken by Kudli Arnsa. Thought about the short side offload to Jesse Creel, but instead will be tackled on the halfway line. Reinach cross to now Stennekamp for his first carry of the contest. Now leave the 60. Press me and get the donut. Now rolling it back. Oh, and that one's knocked back by Kurt Liarense. Now Reinach once more. Going off to the right-hand side. Malcolm Marks passes him behind Sasha. Now Colby playing a second receiver role. Cross kick over the head of Ethan Hooker. And hey, mate, looks like Wembley empty behind you. I was expecting a better turnout, says Julian. The thing is, I know you're joking, but at the same time, the stadium is only 20% full. And I don't even know if this section behind me is actually sold at the ground. So, yeah, not the crowd they were after for this match. Unfortunately, it's going to be a good win for the Bok to start the tour, says Hamish McIntyre. And just wait for the Japanese squad to come on, guys, says Marius. It took 20 minutes, but they finally got on an attack. Meanwhile, the Bok scored 19 points in 20 minutes. Yep, and that's a big difference. Being able to score those tries even when, possession and territory is not in the favour of Japan. 39% possession, 34% for the territory. We have got all you hear is Radio Sasha with apologies to Freddie Mercury. It's a better Bok fan song than Zombie, says Robert. That one's going to be nicely taken by Japan at the line out. Arge Sneyman, he's gone right through the middle. They will have to get rid of this ball very soon or else Sneyman will be all over it. Fujiwara with a kick up high. Chasing after this one on the near side of the field. It is going to be Osada. Now taken by Kolisi. Breaking down the wing. Bit of pace shown by the Springboks captain, but he's bundled into touch. Fair play to you, Hamish, for staying up all night over there to cover these games. That's what I call dedication, says Vlad. And we have still got another game just around the corner. It will be Ireland taking on none other than the All Blacks. And then next week, there are plenty more games that are taking place. We will quickly pop it up just while we've got a bit of a stoppage in this game. Now, I will mention that one in the middle is supposed to be above. So the earlier game is actually Ireland-Japan next week. South Africa, they have got the late game up against the French. It's going to be a big day at the old office. It's going to be kicked high again. Japan chasing after this one, looking to go high, but Ethan Hooker is safe under the high ball once more. Hamish never sleeps, says Michelle. Did Japan look like they're able to score a couple tries, or do you think they'll stay scoreless? I sound like a dolphin there. I don't know what that noise was. But I would say I would give them a decent chance of scoring at least one. You pronounce Japanese names better than Afrikaans names. Says Hans there. Little kick of mine from Fujiwara. And now Sasha retreating close to the sideline. That is a brave move from the Springboks fly half, but he has now kicked it back downfield. Counter-attacking chance for the Japanese. Running this one for plenty of pace for Yazaki. Gets through. Jesse Creel wrestled down by Damien Dialendi. Japan will score something. And they're now breaking through. Another step for Kenji Sato. Injury for Sneyman at the moment by the looks of it. He is staying down a little bit longer now. He was actually rumoured to have an injury not too long ago, but did decide to play in this game anyway, trying to step back in. That ball needed to be shifted wider. Fujiwara going for the grubber in behind. Ethan Hooker is back to cover. They'll go back for the penalty. Bad channel, says Andreas. Fun fact, you can watch somewhere else. It's a free country, or at least it should be. So if you don't like it, we're not going to force you to stay. How are you, brother, says Lance. Doing very well, thank you. And tell us about Porthan's form. He's been great for the under-20s in recent times, Zachary Porthan. Also having some decent moments for the Stormers. Only coming off the bench in the last game for them. And good patches replay from Japan, says Sakabula. I hope South Africa wins, says Hunter played in there too. And Argia was injured versus Muncie. And yeah, they still decided to play him in this contest as well. So far, we've seen the 28 metres made by Sasha Fainbu Zulu, also beating 6 defenders. And Colby or Esterhazen could slot in at the prop. And the best in the world, says Big G. Now ready to throw this one, and only 5 metres out from the line here for Japan. Puts it into Warner Derns, and now rolling more defence, popping it off straight away. Interception for Sasha again. That was the chance for Michael Leach. Had he taken it, it probably would have been the try for Japan down this end, but now they will be able to clear their line, South Africa. We have got their world's best at it again, South Africa Kings, says Ashley. Is Ox okay? He has gone off the field with the injury. Yet to hear any sort of update about him, but it didn't look good. The knee looked like it gave way quite badly or got twisted at an angle, Sasha. Now again, we'll put this ball into touch. That is nicely done. Sasha has been on fire, says Big Rig. Absolutely. He has been everywhere throughout the early stages of the contest. Already having 2 tries, and we're only sitting 28 minutes in to this game. Is there any doubt South Africa will win? No, not at this stage. If Japan had started better, you could argue maybe. But at this stage, it looks pretty self-explanatory. Sasha is cooking, Says long there, and England still 15 points to 7 ahead. So just the 2 tries, Ben Earl and Henry Pollock, and then also for Australia, Harry Potter, the man who did score. Out back across to the left-hand side to Warner Dearns, and a new advantage going against South Africa. Fujiwara with the pick and go. Sasha FM as on fire, says Martin there. Japan has this one in the bag, just wait and see, says Andrew. I mean, we have already seen a game today where a side was 19-0 up and went on to lose, but I just don't know if this one is going to be like it again. Andreas is just upset his team is losing. I don't think it was the case. I'd say with a name like Andreas Visser, he's probably got a team that he goes for that isn't Japan in this scenario. I think he's more annoyed that I'm not showing the match. And that happens quite often. We have got there Harry Potter. Must have been magical. Oh, it's an interception. 90-metre run down the wing for Potter. Australia to get out of their own half. Oh, someone's boot's fallen off. And taking it quickly there for Japan. Oh, and a big drop. Making the mistake now. Colby will be able to kick it downfield. And that is a good shot off the boot from Colby. Now we have there, I love your commentary. Was listening to another channel, but the guy, a South African, drove my ADD off the charts. Says Bernice. And also we have got there, South Africa, Japan should put Eddie on, and they'd have a chance. Currently for us here in New Zealand, we've got a black screen, ladies and gents. Hopefully that is not the case for everyone around the world, but it was off the kick of Cheslin Colby. He kicked that ball that hard, sent the ball straight into the airwaves and created a little bit of an interruption. Was just thinking another South African team was up 19-0 a few hours ago. Says X. And go the box, says Gerhard. And there. And South African Bok. Says Savannah in there too. But 31 minutes already gone in this contest. Oh, sorry, only the 30. So the TV, please. Or show the TV. Sadly, due to licensing, any match footage or audio would get us taken straight off YouTube with a copyright strike, banned for 3 months. So it would give us a holiday, but sadly, we would have nothing to do on said holiday. This is the Modern and Threadless channel, says Herman. Hopefully I've pronounced that correctly. I feel like I might have got it wrong, but they are just showing that kick from Cheslin Colby. A little bit of a huddle here at the moment for Japan. A warm-up match, France is the one that counts. Oh, Zachary Porthan down at the moment with what might be an injury here too. That would be a massive concern if they've already lost 2 props in this contest. He's having a long conversation here with one of the medics. I think he's trying to say that he is going to be all right. Are you going on a holiday? I'm not, no. And my parents are currently away on holiday. But I didn't end up going with them because of all the streams. Where would you like to go on holiday, Hamish? I don't mind just a 30-minute trip down the road every once in a while. Who's got the ball? It is going to be, I believe, Japan ball here. We have got there great commentary. Don't let anyone give you all the haters. Keep up the good work, says Gaming Power. Do appreciate it. 99th test cap for Sia Kolisi in this match. The rugby calendar is so boring. In what regard? Like as in when the matches are taking place? You sure talk fast. He speaks very slowly compared to an auctioneer. Says Arno. Another injury. Man, these boxes soft. It looks like he's going to continue though. Your parents in South Africa? Not quite. They are in Australia at the moment. And Hamish, you should do a live one day like at the stadium. It would be a tricky one to organise, but I feel like, you know, if we had like a box or something we could do it from. Are you enjoying watching the Springboks play? Always enjoy watching the box in action. I've got the referee cam at the moment. It is pretty much completely covered with rain. Every time I hear you, I get fond memories of you making the World Cup special for us. Says James. Yeah, covered every single game of that World Cup, which was a pretty incredible one. Like all the all-nighters. Broke my sleep schedule. It's still broken now because of it. Never quite went back to normal hours. Now ready to feed this ball in again. Now Japan. Rush defense there from Jesse. Creel got out of position. Oh, that's some skill from Yazak. If they called that as a knock-on, I don't think he dropped that, did he? Right, did this ball touch the ground for Yazaki, or did he have a fumble and then regather it himself? Oh, no, sorry, my apologies. It did touch the ground. It was just a camera angle before. And it was the ref today. It is a fellow, this is his first Tier 1 refereeing, I believe. I can't remember his name. He's Irish, though. I think it's Johan something. And we have got the go the box. That's not a holiday. They needed to come scout the place for you here in South Africa, says Hans. And also, thanks for the great commentaries, Hamish says. Russell, thank you very much. Who's got the ball at the moment? The ball is in the hands of South Africa now. They are around the halfway line after the knock-on from Japan. Go the box, says Simongile. Go the box, says Gloria Vart. And there too. Oh, scrum reset. And we'll try and get that big push going. You're doing a good job, Hamish. Keep up the good works. We appreciate what you're doing. And we've got that next game, Ireland versus New Zealand, a bit later on today too. And we have got there, if your blood is green, do you believe we'll win? Says Brandon. I mean, I did go prediction of this game 43-15, which I felt like could be wrong. And I think Japan may struggle to get those 15 points at the moment. I also don't think they'll take on a three-pointer at any stage throughout this game. And Seunson Lee is too accurate off the kicking tee to miss 3 tries if Japan were able to get them. Oh, going down in the front row, another penalty awarded to South Africa. Legs coming out from underneath the Japanese forward pack. And England currently 20 points to 7, another try. And there, okay, so they're starting to run away with that game at Twickenham a little bit. I love in South Africa, but we are watching go the box. Here's Geordie. And Owen crosses the ref. Says Jimbo. That one's gone into touch. We have got there from Isaac Aloal, the best commentator on the net. But yeah, plenty more coming up. Like I mentioned, plenty of November internationals. Do you think the score, or what do you think the score will be? I went 28-23 for that Ireland versus New Zealand game. Just an apology there from the Japanese front rowers. They know that they are up against it here in the match. Now with 6 minutes remaining, line out throw for Malcolm Marx, taken at the back from Franco Mostert. That one's gone straight down, and another penalty advantage for South Africa. And come on, Japan, it's been a decade, says the Hobbit. Oh, Arges Neyman, he decides to go for that offload. Sasha tries it as well, but that one's going to be knocked on, so they will go back for another penalty. I feel like at this stage, the Springboks, they're getting into that motion of just being under penalty advantage for a majority of the match. And score will be a Bok for 62 and 12 for Japan. Nicely taken by Mostert initially. Is the URC break because of the November internationals? Yep, it is. And next week is going to be a banger. Sia's 100th test. Yeah, up against France in France. Going to be a big one. We are going to be covering it on the channel, of course, as well. Now ready to throw it in for Malcolm Marx. Oh. And they're going to have to go and do it again. I think there was a second ball on the field. They're going to get the towel on the ball again, trying to keep it nice and dry next week. Oh no, I read that one. And I predict Japan will get 11 on the board. And we have got their Springboks sleeping now, says Leon. And also rainy games are never great. Yeah, and the slightly good thing is it's been raining all across the board. Like in all the games. Oh, penalty try awarded. Oh, Michael Leach just got taken out off the ball. This might cause a little bit of a push and a shove here. And we have got there Hamish put a legend. The most unbiased and passionate commentator says Rian there, but it is going to be the yellow card for Takeuchi for dragging down that rolling maul. Now the score 26-0. They don't have to go for that kick. We'll go like that, and we'll go like that as well. Rasi very happy with that one. Oh, time is off as well by the sounds of it. With Ox off the field, Japan might score. And someone went flying. Yeah, it was Michael Leach. Got his leg kind of cut underneath him. I don't think it was anything cynical there. The rolling ball is so fast. Japan can't run backwards fast enough. And Mr. H, always looking forward to your commentary, says Charlton there. Got a sign there, 2015, never again. I feel like that's probably a sign that will annoy the fans, though, from South Africa rather than make them happier, because then it's reminding them of what happened. Look at their penalty try. Says the AI there. That one's going to be knocked on by Japan. Arges Neyman does offload up to Cheslin Colby, who is 22 metres out from his line. We haven't actually seen a huge amount of Colby throughout this game in terms of like the open play. It's more so Kudli Arnsa that we've seen running forward. Michael Leach helped back up to his feet by Damien Dialendi. If Ox has an ankle injury, it will take a long time to heal. Says Casper, yeah, playing Oxenschat in this game may have been one of the worst risks South Africa could have taken. You know, they left out Eben Etzebeth. They left out Peter Steph de Toy. Certain guys were left out for that very reason of avoiding injury, giving them a bit more time to recover. But, yeah, Ox has had so many minutes this year. And it just feels like it was only a matter of time until he picked up some sort of injury. And sadly, it's come at a bad time. Hopefully nothing serious, but, yeah, looks like a bit of a concerning one for Ox. It's good to be reminded so you never ease off again. And it was 145-17, and as the game started, it certainly is. We're currently sitting 37 minutes through, 26-0 for the Springboks. Sia Kolisi getting the first try, Sasha Feinberg, Ngume Zulu getting the next two, and then a penalty try as well, and another penalty here for the South Africans as well here. I said here and as well, far too much in that sentence. I'm wondering if they are timing a landmark game for Ox. And what was that? A grass cutter tackle in the maul. Says Scorpio. Instead of Camp is a good replacement for him, though. That is true. And also, Boan Fenter doesn't get a lot of chances. 25-7. Yeah, I do see they just scored again. England are running away with that game now. We actually probably caught the best of that game. And I know that that's me probably just trying to say it so that I feel better about, like, not doing that second half. But it has turned into a really one-sided affair. Right, we're seeing this one from Cheslin Colby. The collision with him and Fujiwara. Is Thomas Totoy in the squad? I believe he is. He was playing a bit more of loose head, tight head. Okay, there wasn't a lot in there from Fujiwara. So it is just awarded as the penalty. Of course, Japan's still down to the 14 men on the field due to Takahashi going off. Stolen line out for the Japanese. They'll get the penalty as well, playing the man. Rico Ioane to Leinster after the international. Thoughts on that, mate? Will he make an impact in the URC? I hope he does. Geordie Barrett went over to Leinster and became a whole different player. Like, he was already solid enough, but Geordie just, while playing for Leinster, he was on another level. So I'd like to think that Rico can find that because he just lacks hunger at times. There's a bit of complacency there, but going into a new side, knowing that you have to prove yourself, I feel like that's exactly what Ioane needs. We caught the best of that game, says Hamish commentating on Suntory Smiths versus one-sided Bok. Says Power Bite. True. We have the New Zealand to win. England to win Six Nations 2026. I don't know Australia play rugby league. Why are you surprised? Says WLK. A line-out throw for Kenji Sato. Nicely taken. On off to the right-hand side again. Little step from Osada. Before he's dragged down by Franco Moster. Malcolm Marks tries to get the steal but gives away the penalty. Okay, straight away he is pointing the finger at the Japanese player, saying it was his fault I infringed. Two hands on the floor first from Malcolm Marks. Critical decision. 3 hours sleep before Ireland versus New Zealand. Thanks, Hamish and everyone. See how it starts race. So, yeah, we will see a little bit later on. And big talk on France. And Japan under fire big time, says Zorro. They are now kicking this one for the corner. About 10 metres out from line with 25 seconds remaining in this first half. That has absolutely flown by. Your thoughts on Franco playing over Vincent Tuchuka? I think Tuchuka should be in the squad. And the fact that, I don't know what else he had to do in his first couple games for the Boks to show that he was good enough. Because, he scored 2 tries up against the Barbarians. He scored in the game up against Italy. He has been physical. He was winning the ball in the breakdowns. He was making his tackles. And he's scoring tries for the Sharks. So, yeah, if I was the selector, which of course I am not, I would have had him in my squad every day of the week for November. So New Zealand players are immature. Says Mumbo Jumbo. That's going to be the penalty awarded to South Africa. We have got the Japan's best choice so far. Says Sakabola, am I the only one who isn't getting any sound on my side? Says Sophia. Hopefully you are the only one, Sophia, or else we've got quite a few people who are very good at reading lips and have just not decided to tell me. It's a good kick downfield from South Africa. Rather than booting this one into touch, they've decided to go for one more. Do you think Andre Pollard will ever play? I'm angry for you. He will play. He'll be playing next week more than likely up against the French. Off the bench is my guess. And Japan needs a win. I bet 1,400 Rand. Says Kianzo there. Now line out throw for Malcolm Marks once more. And that's nicely taken by Ludiache around the halfway line. Already got themselves multiple rolling ball advantages. We have got there, no one is Sophia. We prefer it this way. Now, rolling forward, Sasha. He will be waiting for this ball to come out from Reinach, but the ball's still moving. If they can milk a penalty advantage, they will certainly do just that. It has now gone down. Reinach looking to the short side, pops it up to Sasha. Now 22 metres out from the try line. Ben Gunter. I'm being told to use it. The ball's on your own man. That was a terrible Irish accent, but that's what he said, just with a better accent. Argus Neyman looking for the offload. Going into the hands of Gerhard Stennekamp. Hello, says Carlin. Welcome in. I'm sorry that the first thing you heard was my Irish accent attempt. Reinach looking off to the left. Sasha thought about the skip past Colby. Almost tackled off the ball by Gunther. Big driving tackle. Kolisi decides he will have a crack at Fujiwara. Now Reinach again. Can they score again before the halftime? Sire in the box. Now Jesse Creel stepping back inwards. Chopped down low. 20 metres out. Reinach trying to go through, almost double to, but Warner Durns makes another crucial tackle. Ludiache, he's knocked that one on. Japan, they're going to kick it down the middle of the field, which means this half's not over. I don't know why they do that rather than just decided to go for the kick into touch. Don't know whether or not Eddie Jones will be happy now with South Africa, the team to kick it out. And that will be halftime. 26-0 between these two sides. England versus Australia is just about coming to a conclusion as well. Sexy accent as always, says Carlin there. And hey, Hamish, hope you're well. Excellent commentary as always, says Tasneem. And also from the sounds of the other game, England win. Congrats. Yeah, at the moment, England, they've got a strong lead. It's the last line out of the day by the looks of it for Josh Nassar. I've actually just transferred over for this halftime break. And also we have got there as well. Bet if you win, you're retired, says Herman. And also as a Springbok fan, for the one player I'd take from the Kiwis is Cam Roigard. Who would you take from the box to play for the ABs? Can I take more than one? No, I'd take... Well, the thing is, we're talking about right now or in their prime, because I feel like Eben would have added a lot to our locking duo. But then when he was in his prime, New Zealand actually had decent locks. I'd take Peter Steph Toy, chuck him in the number 6 jersey. That would actually solve a lot of problems for New Zealand at the moment, because it's been for a long time that they haven't really worked out who that 6 option is. Hasn't really been Finau, looking like Parker at the moment. Oh, it's a drop ball from the Australians, but it looks like they're going to go for one last attacking chance. Toy, yeah, you got to take him. Or Oxen Share. I feel like that would be a decent choice as well. But not currently, because he's got an injured knee. And the Wallabies got cooked. Yeah, at the moment, we see England getting a yellow card. It's Henry Pollock, who's going to be sent from the field. Receives a bit of a boo from the crowd. Yellow card for England in the 83rd minute, says Francois. Nothing against you, Hamish, but winning and not being able to see it is worse than losing and seeing it. I'm going to head out and just watch the highlights afterwards, says Yanko. That is completely fair enough. And when I first started listening to you, I would tease you a little. I would stop when I realised you were a sensitive little soul, says Henk. I mean, we get sworn at probably more than most people, other than maybe like phone marketers, you know, the ones who have to call up and say, hello, can I sell you some insurance? But I don't think my skin's that thin. Chuck a few at me. We've taken worse. We can hear, fine, no problem, says Charlton. And Damage got the toy. Sasha Feinberg then. Yeah, it'd be an all right option as well. And 25-7 for the full time. Says Jimbo there too. We have got there all the way, says Rochelle, for the South Africans. I see Springboks, there's a 5-3 split. Says Peter Mason. Hamish isn't sensitive, says Wenmar. I'm sensitive with some things. I get burnt very easily. He can hold his ground, says Wenmar. We have got there, do you think Japan will score ever? Yeah, they'll get one at some point. Hopefully. Just to give them something, you know. You don't want that 0 on the board. All the people are at Allianz Stadium. They are. And I still think that they did it poorly in terms of how they arranged these games. I'd love to know the capacity of the stadium. No, Hamish, you're a great guy. I appreciate what you do, mate. Says Henk there. I do appreciate that. The thing is, I feel like some people come and insult me and then feel bad. Like, after a little while. Which, I mean, That's nice, I guess. Wembley full at the second half. Nah, not enough time to get to the stadium, I don't think. Love listening to your commentary. Thank you for taking so much time. South African says Ascension. And yeah, we have still got that next game around the corner, Chantal, between Ireland and New Zealand. We've got the game next week as well for the Springboks. In fact, while we are at it, we might as well show you exactly what the Boks have got to come. They've got 4 more games. They decided to absolutely stack their November internationals with matches France, Italy, Ireland, and also Wales. Now, the 2 big games you would argue are France and also Ireland. Those are the ones that they will be firmly focused on, trying to make the most of the opportunity. For anyone wondering about Japan, they have actually got a 5-match November internationals too, although they did play one of them in October, but it was up against the Australians, also playing Ireland, playing Wales, and playing Georgia as well. I think that Georgia game is yet to get a confirmed time. I only watch your channel for the rugby, says Strunsham there. And what time is the Scotland game? That's kicking off at 6:40, I believe, New Zealand time in the morning. I'll just have a quick check to make sure. And we'll go like this. And we'll go like that as well. International rugby, yep, 6:40 for Scotland versus USA. So about 38 minutes away from kicking off. And then there is also Ireland versus New Zealand. That has taken place in 2 hours and 57 minutes. That's quite a big break between the 2 games. What was the score for England-Australia? In the end, 25-7 in favour of the English. So they got 15 unanswered points in the second half to go on to win that one. Mr. Matanonu and the All Blacks team. You doing Scotland game? We are not. But we will be giving updates about that game. Or in fact, no, we won't. We'll give updates on about the first 3 minutes of it. And then from there, let you know who won on that next one. I might been with you a couple years now. You're doing a great job. Bud says Night Owl. Thank you very much. And yeah, there's plenty more coming. We don't have any plans of slowing down that I know of. But there's still plenty more coming up. If anyone insults you, give me their name and address. I'll go sort them out. Says Jan Sneyman. I mean, if you are the size of Artigas Sneyman as well, I'm sure that won't be too tough or too tricky to do. What is the crowd like at Wembley? About 20 or 25%. It's actually, I would argue, it's the worst Springboks crowd in terms of numbers we have seen. Oh, there's a few in there, but it's just like, yeah, I don't know. I would say it's close to one of the lowest crowds they've had in quite some time. We have got there a good win for England. They won comfortably in what could have been a very tricky first match. I don't care about it. South Africa will win. Which unused South Africans would make that world team. Make the world team. I feel like I missed a couple comments, didn't I? When you get the chance, if you can, please show us your setup with to see all the screens you're looking at, please. Says Charlton. It's a bit tricky because the camera's kind of mounted at the moment, but I can describe it. Pretty much, microphone is here. So that one just sits there on the desk. Light there, kind of off to the side, and then green screen. And then I got the main monitor here, and then the second monitor there. And then the camera's right there, where you guys are. Shout out to you. Smallest crowd since COVID. Says Eben there. Congratulations to England for the win. I didn't watch the start of the game. Has Colby scored a try? He has not. Not yet. Sasha's got 2. Corlisi got 1 in the 4th minute. Explain how attendance matters, mate. Says 9L. Oh, I don't think it's not so much like, I'm not saying the amount in attendance is an insult to South Africa. I'm just saying, they organised to play this game in England. So I would have thought by organising it for an overseas game, they would have been able to get a bigger crowd for this match. At the end of the day, when the Boks are in town, normally people do all go in there. And they do really get behind the side. But I think it was just the fact that the English game was happening as well. It just didn't really work out. Very bad scheduling for these games. Exactly right. That's all it comes down to. If this game was happening and England versus Australia wasn't, they'd probably sell out this game. We have that Ox didn't need to play today. I hope he's not injured. Yeah. I don't know why they played him in this game, to be honest. He's had such a long time in the Springbok kit this year. Oh, donation there from Invictus. Thank you very much. Got to run back to work, but thanks. The always superb commentary, world class. Thank you very much, Invictus. Hopefully you do enjoy the rest of your day. We have got there. Do you stream anything other than rugby? I do a bit of rugby league which I guess is still rugby, and also rugby sevens, which is still rugby. We used to do a bit of cricket on the channel, but we ended up getting a few copyright strikes for not showing the game for that. Yo, what up, lad? Says Liquid Rhino Gaming in there too. Welcome in. The best Hamish I know, says Clint D. And we've got there from Ascension. Has got Never as well with a whole heap of laughing faces in there too. And too small for us, says Ascension. And also show us the game, says Barry. Sadly, I cannot show you the game, Barry. I was told beforehand to specifically not show Barry the game. So I have to stay within the contract. We have there Marnie Libok, says Face. And how long till it starts? Second half, I would say it's only a couple minutes away. Playing Ox to help Porthen in his first game. It makes sense. But at the same time, now if Ox is going to be out for the month, was it worth it? Like, you're already theoretically looking at the scrums. They were going to dominate anyway at scrum time because they're the box. You know, Gerhard Stennekamp, he is more than capable of dominating a scrum for the box and often would when he makes his way off the bench. Same with Boan Fenter. So, like, it made sense to help him out, but at the same time, it's still that big risk. We have got there Sandra, has said Sandra. And we have got there, it's not a friendly game. But the last tournament of the year says Simbongile. And also, hi, all South African supporters from the Netherlands, says Kudo there. Do you make a good buck from streams and donations, Amos, says Francois? Most, or pretty much all, of the money made off the streams goes straight back into the channel, whether that is like streaming software subscriptions or Sky subscriptions or like little upgrades to the setup and whatnot to try and make it a little bit better. But yeah, like normally it's definitely the hobby side of things because I do still have to work a full-time job alongside it during the week. Besides you being a celebrity and famous, have you had really famous or anyone really famous listening? I mean, we've had All Blacks listening before. Maybe we've had a few international players that haven't said too much. And we have got there also, can you give Kyle Bowles a shout out? Smash the fishing in Holland, please, says Fifi. So shout out to Kyle. How old is the Kiwi Lads channel? I think I watched the Lions Tour of South Africa with you. Yeah, it's been back since 2020 was the first live stream that we did. The channel's a bit older, but we didn't really post a huge amount. Seriously, don't you dare mess with South Africa. Is that to me or to someone in the chat? Do you do YouTube full-time? I do not, just on the weekends for myself. Why can't we see the game if I can ask? It's just due to copyright. Any match footage gets you taken straight off YouTube because of the broadcasters who have bought the rights to show it, the likes of a Super Sport or a Sky Sport. So any match footage on YouTube gets you taken straight down and you're banned for 3 months. If you do it multiple times as well, you also get your channel removed and deleted off of YouTube. Sounds like England game they defended well. Congrats to the English Rugby Union. Australia are lucky that Ford was poor in the second half with the kicking. It would have ended 31-7. Colby seems to be having a quiet day. Yeah, they haven't really been able to get him too involved in this one, Chisel and Colby. In terms of on the attack, we haven't seen a massive amount of him, but he still hasn't done much wrong at the back, if that makes sense. Like, he's had a quiet game, but he's done what he needs to. And we've seen quite a bit of Kurtley Ardense in terms of that back line, as well as, of course, Sasha from that number 10 jersey. Why is it called the Kiwi Lads when it's just you? Says Spots Unfiltered. Well, there are 4 of us. Every once in a while, one of the other lads will pop on. But initially, it was the Kiwi Lads because we were doing things outside of rugby. But then from there, when we went to rugby, just scheduling and like in terms of job-wise, it made it very tricky to be able to get some of the others on. Like, we've only had Daniel maybe on 1 live stream in the 5 years that we've been doing it. Maybe 2 if we're lucky. Isaac, we've probably had on for about, I'd say 15 streams, something like that. George is probably around that 30 stream mark or so. And then you guys have had to put up with myself for a good like 2,000. So, you know, I'm sure you're sick of me by now. He won't admit it, but Razor based on his, or based all his decisions from watching Hamish's streams. And we have got there as well 0-0 in the Argentinian game after 10 minutes. Says, I'm nutty. YouTube love to ban anything. They're out of control. Says X. I had my channel deleted off YouTube. It happens. Try streaming games with your following. Seems like it pays the bills. Says Yandre. As in, like pay for the subscription or like the broadcasting rights. Sadly, because I'm in New Zealand, it means that there aren't actually any rights to be able to get because Sky have got the out and out rights. Like no one else is allowed to show it. So I'd have to move to like a random country that doesn't have rugby and then try and pick up the rights that way. I just had an Outsurgents ad with Eden Park in the background. But now, making their way back out onto the field, the box, we are ready to go for the second half. Jason Gobby is such a nice guy. He apologises to the grass after every sidestep, and he does do a lot of sidesteps. Just Legendary says, Isaac, I'm looking forward to Ireland versus the All Blacks. It's only a few hours away. We will be doing that one on the channel too. The rain is still falling at Wembley Stadium. Thanks so much for your perfect commentary, says Farouk. In there too. And hey, Hamish, we always watch your channel. You are so good. Also, all good, says Sandy. Thank you very much. And yeah, like I said, plenty more coming up in the very near future. And bless you for the sneeze, says Charlton. Just getting a little bit of that gel on their hands so that it's less slippery. We did see a lot of drop balls throughout the early stages. What channel, says Tyron? Here in New Zealand, it's on Sky Sport 2. I'm not sure what channel it's on DSTV. I'd assume 201 or 211. You could do something like the movie The Boat That Rocked, broadcast off the shore, says Herman. And agreed, Hamish is the best commentator, says Brett. And make moves, Hamish, says Byron. We do see there Takeuchi still going to be off the field for a little bit longer. I've been a loyal subscriber of yours, sort of, says Cool Story. What do you mean, sort of? 26-0. And Japan will be kicking this one off from left to right. They've got 40 minutes to try and get themselves some form of points throughout this matchup. Jesse Krill about to be lifted up by Kolisi. They go a little bit shorter with it, and Japan, they retain the ball again off their kickoff. I believe that is the third that we have seen. Now, Michael Leach. Good tackle made on him by Jesse Krill. But yeah, that is definitely something and maybe an area of the game that South Africa may look to try and work on throughout the week just to stop any chance of opposition sides being able to retain that ball. If it rains in this game, should also put on a raincoat for the stream. Thanks in advance, says John. Well, we did have a Halloween costume organised, but we didn't actually end up with a stream on Halloween, which was a little bit unfortunate. I know what it is, just easy and Hamish, says Abby there. Now off to the left-hand side, Sionson Lee gets it into the hands of Osato, who cuts back in. Tackle made by Kobus Reinach. I don't even want to talk about water. Do you not like water? On off to the right, Japan, Ben Gunter. He tackled by Aspavissa, eventually dragged down by Porthin as well. I'm going to be told to use it. Your own player, says the referee. This one's kicked high. Taken by Sasha Feinberg and Gume Zulu. Booting it downfield, looking for the 50-22. It is curling, but it will be taken by the Japanese fullback, Yoshitaka Yazaki. South Africa is the best, says Lucinda. Now that one's going towards the sideline again. That one will go out. Ready for the line out, Cool Story Crow. Prove it, says Philip. South Africa is the best. And also I joined late. What is the scrum weight difference? I'm not actually too sure. I actually missed it when they put it up on the screen. I'd say that South Africa have got a little bit of an advantage in terms of pack weight though. The driving tackle on Michael Leach, but now line out throw for Kenji Saito going into Warner Derns, who doesn't quite take it cleanly. Mostert looking for the offload to Kolisi. Oh, that looked like an ugly collision there. And that's going to be the knock on, first of all, from the Japanese. Bengunte and Kolisi just exchanging words there for a second. Japan needs to make a statue for Leach and his faithfulness to Japan. He has been around for a very long time, that man. And he always just seems to put in that 150%. You know, Kolisi got caught on the chin there by the looks of it, and the tackle from Ben Gunter. Japan needs to make... Oh, no, read that one. And South Africa really attacking. And also, hey, says the What's Up Guys podcast. Welcome in. And see her acting a bit there, says Sakabula too. And now another scrum feed. Oh, Okay, TMO check. I believe there was a bit of head contact on Sio Kolisi there. It was by Ben Gunther, number 6 jersey, moved to Mozambique. And then you should have the rights. Then there is SADEC, which I think Supersport controls. The Southern African regions, not sure though. We're going to see the replay now. So Mostert was initially tackled, offloaded up to Kolisi. And then Gunther came in. Yeah, it's a bit of a shoulder to the head. It was a contact. Yellow says Sakabula. That's why I asked. I think even if Rassi was their coach, it wouldn't help. My rugby IQ is low. Says Isaac. And trouble coming for 6. Yeah, it does seem like Ben Gunther is going to go off the field for at least the 10 minutes here. And they still have... The thing is, Takeuchi's just about to return. So he will go onto the field. And Ben Gunther more than likely will make his way off. Happening at just the wrong time for the Japanese. And Yellow, he loses control of his body. And let's go to the box. Here's Brett. And they're too right. So it's off for the off-field review for Ben Gunther. And like they are saying, the last thing that they needed, do you practice the games? Or sorry, do you practice the names before each game? Sometimes. It depends on who's playing. The likes of the South Africans, because we've covered a lot of their games on the channel. Like I think we're up to about maybe 40 Springbok matches. So like they are a lot easier rolling off the tongue. The Japanese names are a little bit tricky, I will admit. They do sometimes stump me a bit. But then that's where you guys in the chat normally will correct me and say this is how you say it instead. And then that normally thoroughly helps with the pronunciation. If this was an Irish-English crowd, the stadium would have lost their minds at the replay if that was their player. Says Francois. Yellow card 100, says Brett. Right, Takeuchi, he will make his way back out onto the field. Japan return to 14 on the park just for now. Malcolm Marx. Still raining here at Wembley Stadium. Not quite as heavy as it was for that Barbarians versus All Blacks 15 game. But still just enough to be annoying for the players. Taken again by Ludiache. Starting to get this maul moving forward yet again. Someone is down at the moment for the South Africans in the rolling maul. Jasper Wiese. Trying to get that one moving forward even though his pants were coming off. Damien Dialendi just trying to crash over the top of Fujiwara. Reinach collision there with Dylan Riley. 15 out in front of the posts for the South Africans. Arges Neyman. Does he think about the offload? He does. Gives it to Malcolm Marx. 10 metres now. Reinach cross to the right hand side finds Diache. Oh, little knock on from Kovis Reinach in the breakdown, and it will now go back for the scrum in favour of Japan. First time watching your channel and I'm enjoying your commentary. Says Denver. But yeah, be sure to stick around. We've got plenty more matches taking place, not just Ireland versus New Zealand around the corner, but plenty more outside of that next week. Looking through at the schedule, there are plenty of matches. I have no idea which ones I am going to be doing as of yet, but we are definitely covering South Africa versus France. Definitely doing that New Zealand versus Scotland game. England, Fiji, I think, will be the one that takes priority over Italy, Australia. Once again, terrible scheduling that those two games take place at the same time. And down the bottom here, it is Argentina versus Wales, which we will also be covering on the channel too. But Malcolm Marx, he will make his way from the field alongside Zachary Porthen. Decent debut for the youngster. Argentina score says, I am nutty. Just join you now, how many tries did South Africa make for their 26? So Sio Kolisi, Sasha got 2 and then 1 penalty try. So the 4 in total for the Springboks at this stage. Good to see the heroes growing back, says Dana there. And thank you for your commentary, says Muriel. No worries at all. Honestly, I can't think of a South African commentator that's this good. Says, I think there are a couple good ones out there from South Africa, though. And Kovis knocks too often, says Ronnie. He does do it a lot on the breakdowns, doesn't he? And it seems to be right at the back. I think they've had 2 disallowed tries this year from him making those little mistakes. Now big scrum there from the box, but Japan managed to get it out. Fujiwara kicking it off the side of the boot. 1 second, we'll go like this. And like that as well. At the moment, South Africa are expected to win this game by around that 40-ish points. So I expected to get at least 2 more tries, maybe even more. And first time watching a channel, South African in the UK. I like the commentary in the live chat. So here's Martin. Yeah, it is something that it seems to be sometimes it annoys people, the fact that I read the chat so much. But at the end of the day, like, you guys being here is what makes these streams so much fun. Like, we will try our best to balance it, of course, but yeah, it's always awesome having so many people popping through. Now, Jasper Visa taking the collision there again. Now, Mostert. Zachary Porthen, he's made his way off the field, but a solid debut for him. Go Japan. Says Matthias there. Prediction for New Zealand Ireland. New Zealand by 5 is what I'm going with. Colby, bit of a juggle there out wide. The cutting back in. It's trying to find a way through this Brave Blossoms defence. 46 minutes in. Reinach going now to Ludiaka. Sasha almost through. Offloads there. Another pass. Wilco low between the posts. The big tight air prop scores the try. His team pile up on him as well. His first test try. And Wilco Low does get it between the posts as well. Are you going to gain momentum as the news got out? And seen any Halloween Hulksters last night? I saw someone in a giant inflatable dinosaur costume. That was interesting. You're doing a great job at commentary, Hamish. And prediction for the full-time score of this game. My initial score was 43-15 is what I went with. I feel like I was a little bit too generous with Japan, but at the same time, I feel like they've had a couple decent attacking chances. I prefer your commentary more than the South African streams. Says Andre there. Are you killing it? Taking Forever Sports just does get it. Says Andrew. And also we have got there, what is a debut? Says Henk. That's a bit of light-hearted banter, isn't it? How do you actually say it? Debut, is it? Debut. Got to get that t in there. The huck t. No, we have got there, this looks like a porky. And your great commentary and engagement with the audience makes you good. Says Regine there. And try time and happy for Wilco to get his first try. Says Mike. Uh-oh, hang on. No, don't do it. Wait. Okay, I hope that this is for the yellow card. Okay, it's remaining a yellow card. I thought for a second they were going to take it away from them after he had just done the big celebration. The kick has gone over, 33 points to 0. And exactly right, quite a few annoying knock-ons from Kobus this season. And did Jesse get a warning? He did not get the warning, Krill. He was just getting told that there was the yellow card remaining. Taken by Arges Neyman. First time here, we'll definitely be back for more. Yeah, we are going to be here for every single game. Is it debut rather than debut? And 90% South African, and thank you for C. Says Alan. Now, Fujiwara. Back across again. Just not a lot of go forward there for Kenta Kobayashi. It's pronounced, it's spelled, like it's spelled, D-but. Now, passed on the outside. Low tackle made. This is the best attacking chance Japan have had in quite some time. And, that's an ugly shot. And a bit of a dirty one from Kwaka. Smith saw the guy on the ground and said, I'm going to get a shot into his ribcage. Nice take on the outside from Usheda. Trying to go through that defence of Ludiacha and Arges Neyman. They'll go back for the penalty. I can't wait for New Zealand versus Ireland. Like debut. And we have got their best live commentary by far, says Andrew. And just got in, says Lillian. And us South Africans love watching. We also, I missed a donation from France. Thank you very much, mate. The multitasking aspect of your reporting is what makes this a class act. Thanks, Hamish. And also Brett has said that, yes, us South Africans love watching rugby and Hamish's commentary the best. You guys are far too generous. And Kobus is really good, but sometimes he annoys me when he throws his hands up in the air. And I'm like, play the ball, Kobus. But he is a true number 9, I guess, says Herman. Yeah, number 9s do love to talk, that is for sure. Being Gunther, they have just said there that the decision is still going to remain as that yellow card. Or at least they'll put it up on the big screen. A chance for the Brave Blossoms. This is their best attacking opportunity in quite some time. Pronounced debut, says Adele. How did I say it the first time? I think I said debut. So I didn't put enough emphasis in the middle, I guess. Oh, it's going to be mistake made. Oh no, free kick goes the way of Japan. They want to take it quickly by the looks of it. And the quick tip is taken. He wasn't on the mark though for Takeuchi. Hey, Mish, I'm out of here. No way Japan makes a comeback. Laters, mate. See you soon. We will see you later. Now taking it quickly. This time Takeuchi. Big 3-man tackle coming from the box. Now Fujiwara goes to Warner. Durns, Kwaka Smith trying to rip it away. Couldn't quite do so. Fujiwara again. Going to Shimokawa. And they find a gap. Short ball to Durns. Almost gets held up in a 4-man tackle from the South Africans. Diacha told to get out of it. Fujiwara now. Another pass across to Makesi. Seun Sin Lee, man with him. Passed out wide. Cutting in for Oshida. That looked a bit high. From Jesse Creel, Fujiwara, back across to the left-hand side, Kobayashi, tackled by Wilco Low. Can they find a way through here? The Japanese, Makesi passes it on. The short pass, I don't think there's an advantage in play as of yet. It's just solid defence from the Springboks. Kwaga Smith, okay, now it's a penalty advantage. And they will go back for the penalty. Another quick tap. Take it, going for the try line. And Japan score between the posts almost for Yoshitaka Yazaki. But that is their first of the contest. And it's taken 51 minutes. We will go like this. Japan try. Scorers. There we go. And it is Yazaki who was able to score it in the 51st minute of the contest. So they break the try drought in this game, Japan. Have you cleaned a vacuum? Do you become a vacuum cleaner? Asking for a friend. I don't even know how to answer that. Hi, Hamish. Your commentary is amazing. In response to the chat is so entertaining. Says Sandra. Better Steph to toy tackle so hard the ball filled or filed for emotional damages. And Alan is here as well. Thank you for the commentary. I do appreciate that, Alan. But that kick has gone over as well from Seun Sin Lee, making the score 33 points to 7. And we have got, there you go, Japan. They deserve it, brave. Yeah, one of their best attacking chances. And once again, that ill discipline from South Africa was just creeping in a little bit there. Now, another chance to kick off for South Africa. Great stuff from Japan. You have to admire their G's, says Ali Wood. Yeah, that's the thing. Even when they're getting dominated in a game, they'll keep going. They'll still try and get that last try on the board. I think it's actually what they got the last one up against Australia too, didn't they? Now, big run from Damien Dialendi. Andre Easthuizen is also on the field, so he is playing as a forward in this contest, ladies and gentlemen. That makes it a 6-2 split. Now, sitting 22 metres out. All ball ripped away in the breakdown by the Japanese. And they'll go back for the first knock on from Reinach. I think he was a bit unlucky there. Kobus, I think it was ripped out of his hands from the ground. If the game was windy, perhaps you have a fan blowing your hair nearby. It's all about immersion, says John. I mean, even if it was extremely windy, you wouldn't see my hair moving. It's a bit too short. Please go and take Justin Marshall's commentary drop. Tell him Troy sent you. Well, Sasha's now going to be taken off the field. That is for Mani Libok. But what a game from Feinberg Ngume Zulu again. Reinach not good enough to start, to be honest, says Francois. So you going with Grant Williams as your starter, or are you going with maybe Morne Vandenberg as the options? They are just showing the highlights that Sasha had all throughout this game. That one did still look like a knock-on in the replay from Sasha, but it was his second take Reinach off. Says Brendan there too. The 5 tries to the 1 on the count. And not even close to 60, says the AI. At least Japan didn't get whitewashed. Nice try. Right, Williams is on the field for Reinach, so they have actually made 2 changes in that 9 and 10 channel. You start commentating with Grant Nisbet, says What's Up Guys podcast. We have got there. I would check out your second resonance. Needs work. You are a star in the making, says Andrew Roy. And remember that Kriel, South Africa, and Mali, UK played in Japan. Definitely a country to watch out for. Says Martin, couple more changes being made for Japan here too. Okay, Eddie Jones has selected a back rower on the wing in this case, and that is will be Costly, is the number 23. I mean, to be fair though, Russie did select a back as a forward, so Eddie selecting a forward as a back is not that different in some regards. Both guys trying to be innovators. That's a good steal on the breakdown from Andre Estes and earning his role as a jackling option in that loose forward trio. There is an advantage and the penalty awarded for South Africa. Need 2 tries from Mani. Not for our immersion, it's for your immersion. You can then live vicariously through, or we can then live vicariously through you. So we cheer for our teams. Okay, they've had a look at it. Jesse Kriel just asking the question of whether or not they did check. Okay, Jesse Krill's just said that's the 3rd time I've been head high in this game, but as long as you're looking at it, that's fine. How do I subscribe to the channel? So there is that little red button below. Or on a phone, I think it's if you cancel out a full screen, then it is there as well. It is completely free to subscribe to the channel. You get notified as well of all the videos and streams that we are doing. Good afternoon, Hamish. Hope you're well. Looking forward to Ireland versus New Zealand. Watch from the USA. There's Gary there. Now rolling ball, setting up again here for the Springboks in the hands at the moment of Johan Robberline. In fact, it's Andre Esterhuizen who goes through. He managed to get the initial steal in the breakdown, so reaps the rewards there. And the Boks get themselves their 6th try. 6th try of the match. I had to have another recount. Andre Esterhuizen managed to get the chance off of the bench in a hybrid role. And he's made the absolute most of it there. 56 minutes in the box. Take that little bit more of a lead. And it's a try, says Bongi there. Look at our forward Esterhuizen, says Francois. And if Justin Marshall was sick during a game with Grant Nisbet, you should replace him. And how's it, says Henny? Welcome in, Henny. Oh, okay, they're checking for some obstruction here. Right, oh, it's one of these ones in the rolling maul. Yeah, Artigas Neyman is in front. That's going to be no try. We're going to have to take that one back. Andre Esterhuizen does not quite get that 6th try. Instead, we go back down to the 5. And brilliant, says Zorro there. And try time, says Brett. And Jesse is right. That challenge was up right to his head. That is going to be no try. This mismatch goes on, but no try. They're going to go back for the penalty anyway. And Hamish Doris Day was before your time. And so you're saying the comeback is on, says Big Rig. I am not. I would say if Japan can score once more and South Africa get themselves... Oh, no, in fact, it was the penalty, to Japan rather than the other way around. There's a good kick downfield towards the halfway line. Yeah, if Japan score again and South Africa get 2 more tries, I would actually be pretty happy with roughly where my score prediction was. Demo stealing our joy again. That one was legitimate, though. That's one that they've been really hunkering down on recently in terms of those moments and the breakdowns, as well as the rolling mauls. The mismatch, says Heaney. And there too, but the ball now available for South Africa. Grant Williams going after Mani Libok, who will kick it high off his left boot. Kurtley Arendse charging forward. Oh, ugly collision between the 2 players. Ball is loose. Kicked forward by Arendse. Picks it up, and now the Springboks get their 6th. It wasn't Esterhuizen, but it was Arendse who manages to score it. It sounds like they might check this one too. But rather than in the 56th, it's in the 57th. There we go, Kurtley Arendse. Oh, that was the wrong button. There we go, that's what we wanted. Put that down the bottom. And all these internationals fairly scheduled, so all top teams can equally progress up the table. South Africa don't benefit from winning against Japan. I think this was one that South Africa actually organised late. I know that the other matches are like roughly around the same time as a lot of the other internationals, but yeah, this one was one that they actually wanted to have that extra game in there beforehand to have a warm-up heading into that match up against France, which honestly, such a smart move. Because you don't want to be going into that game up against the French without a game up your sleeve. Whereas now France, they are the side that's going to go into that game a little bit underprepared. Love your commentary. TV on sound or TV on sound down. I'll listen to you, says Gary. And I've been waiting for Arendse. His scoring rate is better than Colby, says Henny. Can I maybe get a girl's number that is 13 or 14? Says Ryan. Now, I have to clarify, that is what Ryan said, not myself. But I don't know whether or not a random rugby live stream would be the way to do it, Ryan. I feel like you're better off, well, I was going to say trying to find them on Facebook, but people that age normally shouldn't have Facebook. You can't go on Tinder. Do you have like a school that you go to? Perhaps you should ask a local girl. That way you get to see her and she's not from like random location. You say it's a smart move that they picked a couple of injuries. Or you say it's a smart move. Yeah, well, it's one of those ones that it's a bit tricky. I wouldn't have played Oxenshire to start with. How do you rate the referee so far? I think he's been all right throughout this one. What? Says Ryan De Gamer. What do you mean? What do you mean what? And what is the Irish in the AB's game? Watch out, Hamish, he's trying to groom you. And we have got there someone called the authorities. Says Francois. Ryan is an adult looking for a girl. I'd like to think that Ryan's also 13 or 14 in that scenario. But now rolling ball doesn't really shape up for Japan, so instead just going to be breaking through. And looking for the box kick instead. And, that one's going to be nicely taken by Grant Williams going short side. Quagga Smith with the offload. Hey, it's Ethan Hooker. He's another guy that we really haven't seen a massive amount of. Arias Neyman. Grant Williams back to Mani Libok again. Kicking it up high again. Now Arendse trying to get it. But instead Japan have been able to claim that one nicely with. It would have been a shedder and another penalty goes the way of the Springboks. They will be able to once again kick this one towards the corner. Are the Boks doing anything flashy, different? Wonder if Rassi wants to inject something crazy in this game. I'd say not really. I think that they've just been stock standard, use that physicality and try and dominate. That's about it, really. Like, we haven't seen any fancy set plays. We haven't seen anything too different from what they did throughout the later stages of the Rugby Championship. But I also don't think this is the game to do that if you've got any tricks up the sleeve. What's the penalty count like? It's pretty high up against Japan. I think they have reached the double figures in there. And I Hamish from Cape Town. Welcome in. Did I hear you say Cheslin is off? I don't think so. Sasha came off for Mani. And we also saw Grant Williams go on for Reinach. And we have got there as well. Sort your sound. Resonance, and you are going to rock. You are next level, says Andrew. And Ireland play Japan next week. I can't see any upset there, to be honest. I hope I don't have to eat those words, says Vlad. Now, line out throw for Johan Robela. Almost had himself a try not too long ago back in that Springbok environment. That was a bit of a rough throw. Arias Neyman looking for the offload. Still manages to find it. He will do it each and every time. 10 metres out from the line. Now 5 metres out, Grant Williams. Going to get it quickly back into the hands of the forwards. This time Arias Neyman wrestled down Williams. Pick and go now. Goes off to Andre Estes, and he's over this time. And this one will be a try for Andre Esterhazen. Don't think they can find a way of denying this one. Go like that. Yeah, like that, but 62 minutes and now the Springboks. You can see that they're starting to become the fresher side out of the two teams. You can see that the fatigue really setting in. So do you think the Boks have won this? I think so. Kiwi lad, you pronounce South African names so correct. Classic. And Kovis knocks on way too much. I'll go for Grant. Says Brett there. Well played, Springboks, keeping it going. A final score 73-7. That's my prediction. Easthuizen is an absolute beast. Love him. He runs straight and hard. Says Herman. And now another chance to line up the extra 2 points here for Mani Libok. And does go over, making the score now 47 points to 7. What's the score? 47 points to 7. Japan is getting a hiding. There's Zorro there. Nice leg drive. Went through 3 players there. Sakabola. And yeah, gets that nice little extra push as well from, I think it was Quagga Smith and Damien Dialindi, just to put him in the right direction. Prediction on the Boks versus France game. I think I want to see the sides first in terms of who's in the lineups. Okay, there's something I need to tell you. I'm Chris Hansen. Says Name Set Match. And the final score predictions keep changing in the chat. Oh, ugly collision there, but luckily didn't hurt his shoulder in the process of going up for it. Ishida. I almost said Ben Tamefuna, but it is Tamefusa making his way off the bench. And I was sure this game was going to be a draw. Says Martin. Grant Williams put in a high. Warner Dearns trying to go for the charge down. Didn't quite get there. Now, ball's still there for the Japanese. They would love one more try. I think that's about as many as they'll be able to get in this scenario. 45-16. But a bigger win is welcome, says Sunny Sky. Now, pass back across. Warner Dearns passed on the outside to Ishida. Good low tackle from Kutli Arinsa. Trying to drag him towards that sideline, but just staying in the field of play for the Brave Blossoms. Low tackle made by Robela. Who do you prefer as the kicker, Mani Libok or Sasha? Well, they're both about the same percentage-wise in terms of off the kicking tee. Mani's got a lot better. Oh, that's a big collision. Mani Libok. And also, I want to say that was Ishida. And this is a completely different world without Ruth. Says cool story. And final score 52-7 is the prediction from What's Up Guys podcast. So you're going one more try for South Africa there. Warner Dearns literally said his Japanese side plan on dominating the mighty Bok. Warner Dearns is crazy to think that. Says Johnny Blaze. And I Hamish, great commentary, says Jean. Thank you very much. We see a couple more changes being made. Harawa's on the field for Saito, and also Fukuda makes his way on for Fujiwara in that number 9 jersey. And each boxer is a great player into himself, so when play breaks down, they're first to the ball and make best decisions. Oh, that one's going to be claimed by Japan off the line out. Wide cut out pass to Dylan Riley, who again, just another player we haven't seen a massive amount of throughout this contest. Andre Easthuizen trying to get that counter ruck going. I'm curious to know where he's defending in terms of whether or not they are setting him up more so for that jackal opportunity or whether he is still playing as that 12 and then from there just every once in a while having a crack, which is what he would do from the number 12 jersey anyway. It is more so what he's known for in terms of locking over, winning those penalties. Loose ball, Makesi takes it. A little bit too high in the pass, but they need all the forward momentum that they can get. Time left at the moment. We have got another 14 minutes remaining in this contest. Another penalty going the way of Japan, and Fukuda decides to take it quickly. Now a little short pass to Seunsun Lee. Offloads backwards. Fukuda picks back up. Going now to Makesi, who's got a bit of space, but he's tackled by Andre Easthuizen, who grabbed onto that leg and was not going to be letting go. Now, kick in behind from Seunsun Lee. And it's taken by Cheslin Colby. Now going to run this one back. He goes through the gap. Cheslin Colby, they will struggle to stop him. He chips it in behind. It's a foot race between him and Ishida. And he slides over for the try. Cheslin Colby, that is the brilliance that he can create. And like we said, slow day at the office for Colby. But as soon as he gets himself involved, just goes and gets a full field try just for fun. That is certainly a highlight reel. Wait, it was Kurtley Ardenson. My apologies. Was it Kurtley Ardenson? I think it was Cheslin Colby, wasn't it? I know that he kicked it in behind. There's no Aronsa anywhere near him, is there? No, it's Cheslin Colby. They put up the wrong name. They had me doubting. Oh no, it was Kurtley Aronsa. He actually managed to win the foot race. Colby pulled out. Whoopsies. That was a shocker. They both had the same headgear. That got me all stumped. Here we go. It's Aronsa gets his second. And well done, Colby, says Colleen there. And Kurtley Aronsa is right behind him. Says Jimbo. They could be twins. Really could. Aronsa. Now it's a race for the hat-trick. At the moment, we have seen the 2 tries earlier on for Sasha, but he, of course, is no longer on the field. Try for Scotland, says Novmum there. What time is it in New Zealand? At the moment, it is 6:46 a.m. So we did start with that Barbarians versus All Blacks 15 game. And from there, did that first half of Australia-England, this game, and then we've got Ireland versus New Zealand around the corner as well. Need some sleep, Hamish, says Sakabola. Yeah, although later on today, we've also got the Rugby League, which we are going to be covering. Big collision there for Snyman. And we have got there France is going to lose with 1 point. Next week, it will be so painful. Says Casper, how many minutes left? At the moment, still another 12 minutes remaining on the clock, so plenty of time for at least a couple of tries. But Ben Gunther, tackled by Johan Robler. 17's told to get out of it. That is Gerhard Stennekamp. So if the ABs lose your day, it's pretty much done for. I hate morning games. Not really, because we've still got New Zealand, Tonga in the Rugby League later on. I got a weird schedule over the next couple of days. My parents will be getting back from their holiday at about 5 a.m. But it will also be my dad's birthday, so I'm tempted to stay up till 5 or go to sleep beforehand just to wish him happy birthday right when they get home. Now Jesse Krill, ball on the outside. Here comes Kurtley Aronsa. Passes nicely to Ludiacha. Unselfish from Aronsa there, but onto the ball. Warner Durns gets the turnover penalty for Japan, and he looks like he may have a bit of cramp that the big man is dealing with now. Hamish, are you allowed to show a name brand soft drink on your desk/screen? I guess so. I don't think there'd be anything against it. And Cheslin Colby, best rugby player in the world, says Martin. And that's a good turnover, says Francois. Yeah, on hot attack there, Ludiacha. Oh no, in fact, it was Ruan Nokia. Ruan Nokia is looking more like Ludiacha than Ludiacha is at the moment. Ludiacha looking more like Arge Snyman. Seems to be they're all swapping their haircuts amongst the locking stocks. I picked 68-18, but Japan ain't scoring again. Says Jimbo, good tackle, says Asakabola. And you're a good son to do that for your dad, Hamish. And also we'll get their Bulls, Box will need to be on their A game against France. The French will want redemption kitchen sink coming the Box way in France. Do you look tired, says Jolly. It is currently almost 7 a.m, so that might be why. I'm running off about 2 hours of sleep. Are you not going to greet me, Hamish, says Benita, welcome in. Sorry, I did miss your original message if you did put one through. Happy birthday to the Kiwi Dad, says Glenn. Now the 10 minutes remaining in this contest. Do let me know. 10 minutes left. How many tries are we going to see from the Box in the final 10 minutes of this game? Hamish lives for the rugby weekends and sleeps for the rest of the week, says Vlad. Will 70 be on? I don't think 70, but 68 or 66 could certainly be. Thrown in now. Taken by Japan. 22 metres out from their line. Running it forward again. It is Takeuchi. Been a busy man, although he did have that 10-minute break, so probably feeling a bit more fresh. Sam Green kicks it down to the halfway line. Here comes a dangerous run from Cheslin Colby. No, in fact, he's going to kick it high and make Aronsa run after it. That is the veteran skill of Colby. I thank you for the great commentary, says Alexander. And Max, 2 more tries. 2, says Amanda. And I take my hat off for masterly pronouncing those surnames, Afrikaans, and I had to concentrate, says Isaac. It's such an amazing game. Thanks for your commentary. I love the attempt at the South African accent. Yeah, they're just showing the highlights of that Cheslin Colby line break. Managed to make his way right through. What's the score for England and Australia? In the end, England able to win that game 25-10. It was pretty close at halftime. 25-7, I should say. 10 points to 7 at halftime in favour of England, and then 15 unanswered points in the second half. We have it there. This explains a lot about Australia doing not well today. Now, nicely taken out of Neyman. On across to Kobus Reinach. Drop ball from Andre Estes. And although I think they've ruled it as a knocked out of his hands by Japan. So play on. Run forward again from Damien Dialendi. Onto the ball for Japan. They're told to get out of it. Big chance for that Ben Gunther comeback. Or at least the steal. And the breakdown just moved to New Zealand. Staying in Nelson. Still need to get my Sky Sport running, says Alexander. Well, hopefully you do enjoy Nelson. It's quite nice up there. Around the Tasman region. Kicked high. Running after it. Mostert does get it back to Kobus Reinach, who knocks it on. I'm not actually sure who Reinach is on the field for. It might be for Grant Williams, who may have a bit of an injury that he's dealing with. Hamish, hi. Hey, Hamish. Just popped in to say hi. Welcome in, Megan. You are doing well. You'll be very happy with the way that the score sits at the moment. 54 points to 7. A pretty one-sided game between these two teams. The box is making a statement here. And this game for the French, says Farouk. And Ethan Hooker. Oh, is it Ethan Hooker who went off the field? You see there, Ludiacha. He made 20 tackles throughout this game. It's got them 3 tries in 10 minutes. Okay, so that game's going to be one-sided by the sounds of it. With the way that it's going. Literally watching the game in Wembley. Have they put up on the screen the crowd attendance? Out of curiosity, Abdullahi, hopefully I've said that correctly. How's Hooker playing? He's been quiet, but when he's had the ball, he's been solid enough. They just haven't really gone to his wing throughout this contest. Good low tackle, mate, from Mani Lubok, and what a steal that is from Huaka Smith straight into there. Oh, he's got cramp, I think. Happy birthday to your dad. Many blessings to him. I'm very happy, yes. Pop in later again when your team is playing. Says Megan. Yeah, that game only 2 or so hours away. A very exciting time. Not going to lie, I want to Bocky your friend. You need to read slowly and carefully. Says the What's Up Guys podcast. No update on Ox? Not yet, no. Unfortunately. Africa is proud of the bot. Well done, Springboks. Lekker game. Says Angelica. Or Angelica, one of the two. Now ready to throw this one in. 74 minutes gone in this contest. And there is still time. I think they've just said there that Huaka, when he... Did they say he only knew the names of animals when he first... I don't know what that story was. I kind of missed it, but currently sitting there. Japan rolling this one back. Angelica works, says Theo. And 2 more tries for the box, says Sakabula. That one's into touch once more. Now about 26 metres out from the line. Annihilation, says Vic D. Thanks for the commentary. Says Robin, no worries at all. Is it over? Not quite. Still another 5 minutes remaining. Just waiting for the next line out. It looks like Sasha is going to get himself the Man of the Match award for the match. Now, the All Blacks need to match this performance and dominate Ireland as well, says Savani Sun. Oh, that one's going up. And now Reinach, little step attempt there. Japan starting to look a little bit more laboured when it comes to their defence. Chislin Colby trying to bump off the tackle attempt of Hirao. Now Reinach goes to Damien Dialendi. There's some tired bodies out there at the moment. Crazy man, you're reading chat and perfect commentary. Come on now. Says Andrew. Now drop ball from the box. Knocked on. Sam Green. Chance to counter-attack here for Japan, but they are deep inside of their own 22. Running it sideways. The lone try scorer, Yazaki. Back just out from their own 22 now, Japan. The advantage for the knock-on is over. Who scored the actual try? Chislin Colby or Kirtley? It was Kirtley in the end. Now going back across, Sam Green. Across to the right, Sam Green gets the bounce pass. And just about gets this one towards the touchline. It's going to sit up though for Grant Williams. Tried the low step. What an offload that is. Straight to Chislin Colby round halfway. Trying to step through. Oh, Gunther's just smashed him there. He's given him a little bit of a chat on the ground as well by the looks of it. Mani Libok goes to Damien Dearlendi. Arendse now, he's got himself 2 tries. Can he get the hat trick before the game concludes? Now, Damien Dearlendi, he looked like his legs were pretty heavy when he was trying to run that one sideways. Now Reinach unable to find that next offload. Just the 3 minutes now remaining. Argus Neyman going across to Jesse Creel, finds Kurtley Arendse chopped down. The tackle by Osheda. Clean sweep, says Haley there. Now Gerhard Stennekamp. Back to the right. Reinach finds Wilco Lowe, who did get himself his first try in the Springboks career earlier on today. Mani Livo, that one's gone backwards. That one's gone backwards by about 5. And it's back into the hands of Japan, who kicked that ball in behind. Sam Green chasing after it, but once again, the Boks have plenty of pace to get back. And Libok puts that one into touch. Are you covering the Scotland game? I am not, but Scotland have got off to a flying start in that one. Could you show all the try scores? Oh, my apologies. I did hide that one, didn't I? There we go. Just back up now. I think that's everyone. Yep, so Arendse was the most recent in the 67th minute. Japan have gone 10 minutes without scoring a try. So that is a pretty big bonus. But they are just saying there, Japan being outpowered. Reinach with the steal. Just trying to get that back line going, Japan, but it was a bit too stagnant, bit slow and methodical. Offload from Argus Neyman has given the ball straight back into the hands of the Japanese. Ball comes out the back. And Jingles has said, thanks, Hamish. Excellent job once again. Shout out to James Anderson, watching in South Africa. Now, great take from Mani Libok. Passes to Arendse, flying down the wing. Does he want his hat-trick? He gives it to Jesse Creel, who will score it instead. Again, another unselfish moment from Kurtley Arendse in this game. But that should well and truly seal this game if it wasn't already. The 78th minute try from Jesse Creel there. Let's see, we'll go like this. And like that as well. And so looks like it's going to be 62-7. I told you guys that I will drink beers to the amount that Springboks score. Says Graham, that was very brave. Are you talking tries or points? Your man of the match? I mean, Arendse's got to be up there. Sasha had a solid game. Some of the forwards, though, have been doing extremely well throughout this match. So I do feel like there's a bit of credit due there too. But yeah, I'd probably go either Sasha or Kurtley Arendse. Arendse better than Colby. He's very underrated. Says Henny there. A great commentary once again, says Theo. Thank you very much. Now another 17 seconds remaining in this contest. Okay, they have given it to Kurtley Arendse as the man of the match award. He's just been very dangerous with the way that he's been able to run through the gap. Sasha's selfless. I like Henry Honeyball. And I agree, Henny says Denver. And out of all the Asian countries, we're not going to read that one. Tough call for man of the match. Great performance by the team. Says Jumbo. Another offload from Quagga Smith goes to Wilco Lowe. It's finished not quite. One last play here for the South Africans. And it seems like they are going to try and get one more. It's going to be knocked on, though. And Japan are willing to try and run this one back. Sam Green goes on the outside. Big chop and tackle on Costly. Arendse. Colby gives away the penalty, in fact. Jumping in on the wrong side. Thank you, Bocky, for always making us proud. Sasha will be man of the match. They just gave it to Arendse. I'd say that Japan, they will kick this one more than likely for the corner. And this win will go a little way for the Boks to recover from their Pearl Harbor, says DG. And what on the box says Colleen. Oh, hang on. What's this? Leading forearm from Green 18. That is Wilco Lowe. Now, this will be interesting because if this is serious and he gets suspended, they've lost 2 props from this game, almost 3. This game should never be play, says Andreas. Well, yeah, kind of strikes him on the side of the head for Kuda. Game time, says the AI underdog. And currently we're 81 minutes through. Yeah, I mean, he's kind of gone like that, Wilco Low. I don't think it's... it's not the worst thing ever, I would say. It's probably a penalty. And thanks, Hamish. Great commentary as always. Until the next one, cheers, says Philip. And also we have got there... Eddie Jones was speaking a bit too much for South Africa. These two teams are miles apart in terms of performance, says Eugene. Any rugby game is a blessing, and Kirtley trying to show he is a team player after his drop kick try gift to the Argies in the Rugby Championship final. Says, okay, JB. Now that was Cheslin Colby who did the drop kick thing. This is Kirtley Arden's first game back, isn't it? Unless you're talking about one from ages ago. Technically, it's an extended forearm to the head, but game over. Okay, they're going to have the option of a penalty one way or a penalty the other. You're simply the best commentator. Thank you very much. Ludi, greatly appreciated. And we are back in around an hour and 15 minutes time in that contest taking place between New Zealand and Ireland. So be sure to tune in. But for now, Japan have got one last attacking chance in this contest as well. Your hat-tricks missed the second half. No hat-tricks. Kirtley Ardenson got 2. And also we have seen 2 from Sasha Feinberg and Ngume Zulu as well. Can't wait, says the What's Up Guys podcast. And there as well, but this one's going to be kicked towards the touchline. It's about 20 metres out from the line, so a decent amount of distance that they still have to go to one-sided. I think you would have been better staying with the England versus Australia game, to be honest. Says Akaris, yeah, hindsight's a wonderful thing, isn't it? But at the end of the day, I wasn't going to do the first half of England-Australia either. So I guess like the half was better than nothing, if that makes sense. Because originally we were just going to, oh no, they're kicking it into touch. The South Africans, they decide that they have had enough. And that is going to be the end of the game. 61 points to 7. The victory for South Africa over the Brave Blossoms. Australia doesn't improve. They lose versus England. Where'd that go? Whereas the improvement by Schmidt, I think that we've seen the improvement overall. Like, yes, they lost to England in that second half and they really didn't have a great run, but first half they were more than competitive. England's defence throughout that game, I think, does deserve a lot of credit. There was one point where they made about 75 tackles, only missed 2. So that makes it very hard to score tries. We have got there, good to see Ardenson back. Says DG, and good channel, mate. Your balance, well done. And it would be interesting hearing you pronounce South African names of a few, or after a few beers. Says Shelton. I feel like I'd struggle to even just pronounce a few South African beer names as well. I thank you, Hamish. Excellent commentary. Well done for usually getting Sasha's name correct. God bless from South Africa, says Lily. And what a thrashing, says Elaine. And there as well. But yeah, nonetheless, I do thank you all very much for tuning in. We will be back next week for more of South Africa's matches of the November Internationals. That is going to be that big game up against the French. We will be doing that game alongside many more. Also later on today, in about an hour and 10 minutes time, we are going to be covering that matchup taking place between South Africa and Ireland. And then later on today, if my voice is still here, we will be doing New Zealand versus Tonga on the channel as well. But nonetheless, thank you all very much for tuning in, and I will see you all for the next one.